Hello, Western Civ 104. Welcome to finals week. And I just wanted to clarify some things as we basically transition into finishing up the class. So, first of all, I just want to point out something on grades. I gave many assignments, and some students found that hard to keep up with. But you'll also notice that I gave a lot of points. And you'll notice that if you look on your grade, on your grades, my understanding is, unless Canvas changed this, you can see what your actual grade looks like if you put a 0 in. Like you could put in a number and see what your final grade would look like. And so my final is 30 points. Some of you can afford not to take the final. I'm not telling you to not take the final. I'm telling you it won't hurt my feelings if you don't take it. Or some of you might find that you were behind on work and actually don't really need to make it up as much as you were worried about needing to do. But here's the other thing. I will not answer an email, a text, or a phone call asking me if you can afford to not do an assignment or to not take the final. I'm not doing the math for you. I'm not going to go figure this out, okay? That's something that you need to be able to do for yourself. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm okay with whatever choices you need to make, and what you maximize getting what you need out of your education, getting the grade that you want, getting the amount of education that you want. And I know that almost all of you have really worked super hard, no matter what the end result is on your grades, okay? So I just wanted to point that out. Also, I've mentioned this before in other announcements, but this is very important. When you look on the grade books, you are going to see there's assignments there, and you're going to say, well, I don't remember doing those. No, they were not done. Canvas, for whatever reason, keeps all of my old assignments from previous classes, even if I don't use those anymore for my current ones. And so it's like a graveyard of old assignments in the grade book, and I really need to get this figured out. The bottom line, it doesn't affect your grades. Don't put anything in there. Just the only thing you ever needed to do were the assignments that were in the module links of each week. That's it. Okay? Now, I pointed this out before as well, but I want to say it again. Canvas doesn't consistently let me know if I let you do some late work, and especially on the discussions for some reason. It often doesn't show if you added some replies. So normally I will get a notification if all of a sudden you had a 0 and then you did work. Not always the case with the discussions in particular. So let me know if you're noticing that. Some have already took note of that, and I have been able to fix those issues. And so I think that's the main things that I wanted to get across and say. I work all day tomorrow. I'll be grading Tuesday. The final is due by Wednesday. You can turn it in before. And I plan on having everything finished in grading by Friday. I'll post an announcement to let all of you know that I finished the grading. Then you can look over the grades, make sure that they are looking like that they need to, like I didn't skip over something or make a mistake. Sunday, I will put them in Pirates Net, officially done. So what I need you to do is, if you're really busy, make sure you give yourself time, especially if you're turning in a lot of late work, that by Sunday, you've resolved with me anything about your grades that needs to be different than what you're seeing. So that's just something that I needed to make very clear. And that is about it. So look, here we are in 2020, one of the most jacked up years of most people's existence. And it's been really trying. And I think that what's been helpful for all of you here is you see that world civilization, but in this case we focused on Western civilization. The West has gone through many crazy events and bad years, and some much, much worse than even what we're experiencing now. We recall the plagues, the disintegration of Europe into warring factions. And keep in mind, the West was fighting each other, killing. Went to World War I, World War II, all the way up until World War II. There's been war in Europe, and we've only seen this kind of peace in this segment of history. So when you look at the Middle East and you look at Africa and parts of Asia, and you think how, like, oh, these people just keep killing each other, and look at what they're doing. What do you think your grandparents did? Your grandparents fought or suffered in the war. I should say, for many of you, your great-grandparents, not that long ago. And so the world has not been, there's never been a good old days, okay? That's the point I was going to make. But, I mean, that's not fully true in the sense that there were certain things maybe in the past that were done better than now and that are lost on the public at large now. There's also a lot of romanticization of nostalgia about things that weren't as good as people like to think about that they were. It's always a mixture of things. We historians are always kind of tackling and looking into all of that. So I just hope that you come out of this class feeling really empowered, ready to keep learning and engage with the world. Not to be naive and not to rely so much on all of this pop garbage mainstream media, and even be very careful of all the alternative, smarter media that also doesn't verify anything they're talking about. And this goes on all sides of the spectrum. Okay, folks? Okay, I don't care what your political perspectives are. We have so much information, but we also have a lot of bad information. We had a lot of misinformation. And so it's just good to be diligent. We can't be perfect. We don't have it all. We're working. We don't have time to research every stinking thing that comes thrown at us and makes everybody debate at a dinner table. But it's just good to be aware, to be humble, and to be hardworking mentally as much as we are at everything else we're doing. I hope you all have a great holiday season. It was wonderful having you in my class, and I hope to see some of you all around again, and it would be nice if it was actually in person one of these days. So here I am from Portland in my new apartment, which I quickly threw together because I'm really impatient. I don't like to do work and clutter. And anyways, we'll be in touch.